Hi, my name is Brian Johnson, and I'm a Grosvenor Teacher Fellow. This is my capstone project titled Exploring Through Documentary Filmmaking. The National Geographic Learning Framework states that an explorer is a storyteller, communicating experiences and ideas effectively through language and media. I'm sure that's why the Grosvenor Teacher Fellowship sends dozens of teachers to amazing locations every year, because teachers know how to tell stories, and they have the most important audience on earth. But is it enough for teachers to tell their stories? How do we teach our students to become storytellers, capable of communicating their ideas effectively in a media-rich world? I set out to do this during my fellowship by guiding my fifth graders in making documentary films about the Galapagos Islands. A documentary film can bring together every aspect of storytelling: language, images, movement, music, and it can communicate a clear message in a short period of time. If my students can become effective storytellers using technology already found in most of their pockets, I know they'll have a skill that will help them in the future. Before my expedition, my students and I learned everything we could about the Galapagos. We read books, we watched films, and most importantly, we learned to map the islands by heart. When you can draw a map from memory, that place becomes more real. It becomes part of you. A few days before my expedition, I approached a group of students digging in the dirt at recess. Before I could question them about the mess they were making, they proudly presented their full dirt model of the Galapagos. That's when I knew that this meant something to them. On my expedition, I gathered hundreds of photos and video clips of the animals and locations that my students were most interested in. I also interviewed the Lindblad naturalists using questions that were written by my students.
You can see in the side here, it's quite green, and that's really good for the island because 10 years ago, this island was full of goats.
Caitlin wants to know, why are the tortoises so big?
Well, tortoises here in Galapagos.
Your students can accomplish the same thing by going on an online expedition to gather media. They can find local experts to interview about their topic. On my return, I put students into 6 small groups assigned to different Galapagos topics. Each group had an iPad loaded up with my photos and video related to their topic. With in-depth research and collaborative script writing, they combined information from diverse resources to create a single narrative. They demonstrated the media literacy skills of analysis, evaluation, and discernment in decisions about which media to use or reject. My students also filmed some scenes with a green screen. This can add realism and a sense of place to their documentaries. You can make a basic green screen set with some green fabric and a $3 app. Editing with iMovie is easy for 5th graders, but requires that they work cooperatively toward a common goal. Finally, students premiered their films to the school, their families, and the community. They were able to tell their stories and pass their learning on to others.
This is the blue-footed booby, the clown of the bird group. When the blue-footed booby attracts a mate, the male does a funny dance and the female copies him if she's interested.
The Galapagos sea lions are very enthusiastic and love the water. They cruise the ocean at 11 miles per hour, but with a burst of speed can go up to 25. Sea lions spend a lot of time playing and are generally very inquisitive.
Now there's a Galapagos tortoise breeding center on Santa Cruz Island, so they hatch them, then release them back onto the island where they were originally from. Thanks to the help of humans and technology, these creatures will continue to thrive.
I was impressed with how inclusive the process was. There are so many roles during filmmaking that students of all abilities can be active and feel needed. It's also highly motivating. My students enjoyed this so much they often wanted to keep working during recess. That doesn't happen with a standard research report.
And last but not least, I like that students experience firsthand that technology is not just something to consume, but a tool they can use to create.
I encourage you to help your students become explorers through documentary filmmaking. Thank you.
Share this news with your friends. Help protect the Galapagos wildlife. Remember, every little bit helps.